Okay. So I want to tell the story of my abortion doula. So last year, I had an abortion. In my life, I've had two. Um, I, for a very long time, have been kind of anti motherhood, at least for myself, right? I'm not anti motherhood for other people. I think women who want to be mothers should be mothers. I'm just talking about for myself. Okay. We got to, so just to clear the air here. Um, anyway, so for me, I heard all of these narratives, okay, about how awful abortions are and all this shit. And I honestly, I didn't even realize I was pregnant. When I terminated the pregnancy, it was like 10 weeks. I think I was like 10 weeks along, something like that. And as long as it's a before like 16 weeks or something, you can take the abortion pill. So that's what I did. So basically, I made an appointment with Planned Parenthood. I just went online to the website, and then I had an account or whatever, and I think I had to pick a location, and so then I had to call the location to make an appointment. So like every time I go, I also get like all of my blood work done. So I test for everything, like every STD, STI, all of my blood work, like everything. I always get it all done. And so I go to Planned Parenthood, and then what they do is they give you, there's like two pills. One is like fistrol, and the other one is like there's two with an M. So you take one pill at the office, and then like 24 hours later you take another pill. Now the reason I want to talk about the abortion doula is because like at Planned Parenthood, they don't actually have medical doctors who've gone to medical school. They're like nurse practitioners who are functioning as something known as clinicians. So these are people who have like probably a bachelor's degree in something. Maybe I think the girl who I worked with had a bachelor's degree in like English, but then she did a master's program in nursing. So like a nurse practitioner master's program from Yale, and she was so great. Like we had this entire conversation about how she wanted to make me feel comfortable and how she wanted to make sure that like, I was making this decision and it was the decision that I wanted to make. And I was like, oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm positive. Like I'm for sure, for shizzle sure. Like and she was so great, and I it made me kind of wonder like why are all of these people having, first of all, like why are there unwanted children in the world? This is another thing that came up in FD signifiers like talk, and it was just so weird because like sometimes people have sex and then shit happens and somebody gets pregnant, right? And it's okay, but if one person or the other person says like they don't want to be a part of that, then like you can just abort the child. Like you don't, I understand that like life is precious, but also like you can't force somebody to have their genes go on. Like if I don't want my genetic material moving forward, then nobody can make me. Like, which is why also I feel like it should be we'll go into that later. I'm not going to unpack that right now. But so I also read something about how Corday and Naomi Osaka are pregnant. Um and Kiki Palmer and her boyfriend are pregnant now. And like I have a lot of thoughts about colorism, but to me colorism and pretty privilege are, they don't go hand in hand. So dumber people have this idea that like lighter skin is prettier and darker skin is uglier, when especially right now, I feel like right now is the perfect time in society to explore just the physical unattractiveness of lighter skinned people. Gorilla actually kind of looks gorilla like to me. I'm sorry. Like the whole thing is awful. I also personally find Naomi Osaka and Corday to be really unattractive people. So all of those people have financial resources, though. As in, like, Naomi Osaka actually has a lot of money. So at the end of the day, her child is going to be like well taken care of, which is actually all that's really required. like children cost money. That's the thing. If you don't have any money, you're not really in a position to be having children. Yeah. Okay. But the other thing too, like, I don't think that we should populate the thing. I think the reason that pretty privilege has to be at least taken into account, like, you don't want to have, like, people are going to look like their parents. So if you're having a kid with like some really unattractive man or some really unattractive woman, your kid's gonna look like that. That's how genetics works. So if all of you dudes out here continue to be really awful to pretty women, you're going to have ugly children. And ugly girls don't really fare well in society, if that's not clear. Like, so maybe you should just be, and ugly dudes too become incels and they don't fare well in society. Despite all of the education and whatever else it is that you want to have or create, like, so abortions are real. That's all I'm saying. If you're a woman, you want to have a kid with a person who commits to you. So this is why marriage is important. It's a financial commitment. But if the guy doesn't have any resources, you can't get married. You need to marry the person who has the financial ability to raise the child. There is a monetary value attached to that. And in America, it's about $120,000. In Canada, I think it's very similar. So either one person can be making that amount of money, or two people can work and make that amount of money. In America, if two people have minimum wage jobs, they make that much money. So this is why partnership is very important. And I guess, like, a lot of you guys have to, oh, I actually might take that. This is why a lot of people have to start having serious conversations about, this is so funny. People have to start having serious conversations about, resources. I'm so sorry. Resources and partnership. So the whole point is, like, really anybody, as long as you're alive, you can go get a minimum wage job. You could just go work at the Walmart or Target or something. If two people are working at Target and then the two of you are sharing the responsibility of raising a kid and the bills and all of that stuff, you can do it. If one person has a minimum wage job, they can't afford a family. If one person has a struggling business and is trying to be an entrepreneur, you can't raise a family. It's just the economics don't pan out. This is why, I don't know, man. I don't understand why people are teaching people. Like, home economics used to be a whole class that was required because, like, everyone's supposed to know this type of stuff. But at least we have the internet now, so we can just, like, share this information. But yes, so abortion doulas are real. I will put an article in the description box that I saw an NPR article about it, which I thought was actually nice. So